Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize for the lack of videos going on my YouTube channel over the last almost month. I ended up with an upper respiratory infection, took me out for about 7 or 8 days. Just got back from a long work trip that lasted about 10 days. So better part of the last of May and through today, I've been kind of unavailable. So haven't received a lot of content from me, and I apologize about that. However, while I was gone, I did receive all of my 2022, or most of my 2022 Department 56 Halloween Village stuff. And so I've got it, I've unpacked it, I've looked at it. Some of it is pretty cool. And so what I want to do is take this next week or so and just go review after review after review, so you get a chance to see the 2022 Halloween stuff. And if you haven't got yours yet, this may convince you to go out and do so. Also, I'm going to get started on the Sleepy Halloween Village that I've got to make. I've done the reviews on all that. You've seen those. Now it's time to get to work on the village. I feel like I'm starting to get behind with all the stuff that I've got to do leading up to decorating our house for Halloween. So, hey, with that, let's jump right into the Department 56 2022 Trick or Treat Lane, the Mummy House review. Okay, guys, here you can see the box for the 2022 Trick or Treat Lane, the Mummy House. This retails this year for $200, and this is what the house itself looks like. Overall, a great design, pretty good paint job. And I'll show you some flaws in the paint that I think could have been done a little bit better, but overall, it's a pretty good paint job. Beautiful house, beautiful design. I've heard some other people saying that they did not really like the fairy lights on this house. They seemed size inappropriate, maybe too small. But I'll tell you, to me, this is the most realistic size that I've seen in a while, and I like it. I don't think there's an issue at all with the lighting. I think it's very well done, and I like it. I like the color, I like the glow, I like the ambiance that it throws onto the house. So no problems for me on the lighting. You can see the detail on the mummies, time to unwind. They've got this stuff that looks like, mummy tape. It's actually ribbon, so it's not paper, so it's not gonna rip. It's very well thought out and tastefully done. You've got another mummy on the side of the house. And then I like the little sign, warning, missing mummy, approach with caution, likes candy. And then over on the tree, which we'll talk a little bit more about, you've got some more of that ribbon to sort of simulate the mummy wrap, and then a couple of eyeballs on the tree to kind of decorate something on the side yard too. The chimney is very well done. The paint job is pretty good. And when I say I think that, there's a few little flaws, at least on mine. You can see that that's not styrofoam or, it's a little piece of paint. You can, if you look close on the roof as I turn it, you can see a couple of other little areas that were just sort of missed in the painting process this year, which is a little disheartening, especially since this was a $200 piece. It's not all bad. Don't get me wrong. It could be a little bit better, especially for that price point. And then the back of the house, obviously this plugs into a single plug, all LEDs to include the fairy lights on the front. The home and the inside lights up with a yellow light. Looks really good at night. It's not overpowering. It looks it's about right. You can sort of see the glow there through the window, even in the daytime. A lot of folks, again, said they didn't care for the design of the house, that it looks too similar to some of the other designs in Trick or Treat Lane. But, the Trick or Treat Lane is supposed to be a street or a neighborhood with, all the houses should somewhat look similar in that style. And so I don't think it looks too close to any other house, and I love the design. I like the way it's laid out. I think it's a really tastefully done piece. I'm absolutely glad that I have it. I would not miss this in my collection if you paid me to miss it. So no major flaws or errors that I can see on this house, and I like it. It is a little bit bigger in size, I think, than some of the other homes in Trick or Treat Lane. Last year was the Peanuts house for Trick or Treat Lane. This house, the Mummy house, is a lot bigger, both in height and also width of the Peanuts house, or at least I perceive that it is. I haven't actually measured them, but it certainly looks bigger to me. Let's talk about the tree for a minute. This year is the first year that I've seen sort of a rubbery plastic, mostly rubber, I think, tree versus the old wire trees that's sort of wrapped with almost like a floral tape. I don't know that I like this better or not. And the reason I say that, and most of you know that anytime you're going to break something, it's going to be right here where the tree goes into the thin piece of resin or porcelain. This house is all porcelain, that you'll see that break out. So you got to be very careful in bending these. This one, and I'll try with one hand, it will bend, but as soon as you let go, you can see it moving. It goes right back into the shape. So I'm finding it very difficult to spread out in different directions like the other trees that I'm used to. I think it looks good. And it's at the end of the day, I'm going to have so many other trees surrounding this house that it's not really going to take away from the look. But I think it's going to be very difficult to really move and position that tree and those branches to kind of, make it a little more fuller looking if you wanted to do that. So that could be a drawback for some. To me, I don't think it's really going to matter. It sort of is where it is, and I will put other trees around the house to fill that in, along with some shrubbery and things like that like I always do in my village. So not a big concern for me, but it is different than the years past as far as trees. I don't know if they're all going to be like this from now on or not, but that's the way this one is for sure. And overall, just a very cool, very nostalgic looking house. I like it. I love the paint job for the most part on it. A few little spots that are missed, and I don't know if that's just due to, I don't know, maybe just the work environment that we find ourselves in, or a leftover piece of COVID, or I just don't know, because usually these paint jobs are just out of the box perfect. And this may be just my piece. I may have just, that's the luck of my draw, perhaps. I don't know, but I'd be interested to hear in the comments if you've got this house already, if yours is similar with the way that it's painted. So anyway, that is a closer look at the Mummy house. Next, we'll take a look at the accessory, the coordinating piece that goes with this. Okay, this is the coordinating piece that goes with the Mummy house, and this is called Mommy Treats, and it's a young woman with a small child that she's taking out trick-or-treating, or he's getting ready to go out trick-or-treating, and she's handing out candy, but it's an all porcelain piece. It's a really good detail on this piece. Let me get the camera to stop shaking there and see if I can focus solely on this piece. Obviously, I am a firm believer that if you are going to buy a house or a Apartment 56 piece, I'm going to move this so you can see a little bit better down here. If you're going to buy a piece, it's easier to buy the coordinating accessory as soon as it's available. These will sell out at some point, and then they become hard to get, or you'll look back later and go, man, I wish I had the coordinating piece for that house. So I just buy them together just to make sure I've got them, right? This one retails for $37.50. It is all porcelain. It's well made. It's just like any other Department 56 piece. The paint on this one is really, really well done. No issues. You can see the candy in the bowl, and I apologize, I'm working close here, so it's really hard to focus, but you can see the candy in the bowl kind of model, the candy in his little pumpkin container that he's carrying, and just a really, really well done piece. Coordinates perfectly with this house. And certainly I would not want to have one without the other. So you can sort of see that there. Not a lot to say about this piece. It's obviously the coordinating piece that goes with the mummy house, and certainly a piece that you would want to have in your collection. So very well done, and no complaints at all on this piece. Happy to have it, and a reasonable price point for where we're at in the world with prices these days. So there's a closer look at the Trick or Treat Lane Mummy House and the Trick or Treat Lane Mommy Treats coordinating accessory piece that goes with it. Okay, well, there's a closer look at the 2022 Trick or Treat Lane, the Mummy House, and the coordinating accessory Mommy Treats for 2022. Hopefully that review helps you to determine if you want this piece in your collection. As with all the other Trick or Treat Lane pieces, this piece is going to sell out. It will probably, like most others, will likely be retired either in, excuse me, in 2023 or 2024. They only usually run the Trick or Treat Lane series for 1 or 2 years. They retire them, and they become, at that point, more difficult to get. So if you plan on getting this, they were just released. The supply hopefully is plentiful. So if you want this into your collection, you run out and grab it. I don't think you're gonna be sorry that you did. It's a beautifully done piece. It's gonna go great in your Halloween village, your Trick or Treat Lane specifically. And the coordinating piece is just like any other coordinating piece. For me, it's a must have. So with that, hopefully you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please click the like button and let me know. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. Even though I haven't published content in about a month, the channel is still growing, and I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. I want to say thank you to all the folks that keep coming back and supporting the channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Also click on the bell. You'll get notified anytime a video is released. And again, this week, in the next few days, I'm going to go review after review after review. My goal is to post a couple of videos a day if I can, to get caught back up and get you up to speed on where we're sitting with the 2022 stuff. Hey, lastly, and again, I'm going to do a couple more videos today, but I want to let you know that if you're in the Phoenix area and you're available on Saturday from 10:30 to 12:30, I'll be teaching a class featuring this exact house at Millie's Hallmark out in Ahwatukee, Arizona, just to the south of the main city of Phoenix. I'm going to do a small vignette, sort of like I did the Trick or Treat Lane last year with the Peanuts. Do the same version sort of this year with the Trick or Treat Lane Mummy House and the coordinating accessory. I'll build that live out at Millie's Hallmark this Saturday from 10:30 to 12:30. If you're in the local area, I hope to see you there. I'd like to meet you and say hello. With that, another video coming here shortly. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you real soon.